Hi there, it's Jeannie, and today I'm sharing a card using Penguin Palace's Let's Get Crafty stamp set. This is a new stamp set from their line, and it's releasing on March 20th. So for today's card, I'm focusing on the artist in this stamp set, and I'll be stamping him on white cardstock using Momento Tuxedo black ink. So for this image, I'm just going to quickly color him up, and I'm using Copic markers to color. For each of the areas, I'm using about 2 to 3 so I can create a bit of dimension while coloring him. And all the colors I use will be listed down below. And I really like this green combo that I'm using. It creates such a vibrant green, and it also gives it a bit of a fall look too. And I know that we're moving into summer and spring, but it's fine. I really like this color. For the beret, I didn't want it to stand straight up on his head, so I added a little bit of shading so it looks like it's kind of creased on his head, and I really like that look. It just makes him seem more of an artist too. For the hair, I'm going with a black combination, so I'm using a bunch of grays, so that adds dimension to his hair and a little bit of shine. So my C5, C7, and C9 are my go-tos for any black hair coloring. Because the green stands out and is so vibrant, I wanted to have that be the main focus of his outfit. So I used black for his pants and yellow for his shirt. And the yellow is very dull so that the green will still pop. For the paintbrush, using very light colors as well. And for his paint palette, I'm not even shading, I'm just using the colors of the rainbow and just coloring it in. For the paintbrush itself, I leave the tip of it uncolored because I'm going to go back in and use rainbow colors to color that up. Once I finish coloring the image, I decided that I'm going to fussy cut on the edges using just my mini snips. And I'm fussy cutting because I don't want a white border around it because I want color to come out of his paintbrush, and I thought that a white border would make it look weird. There are coordinating dies that come with this, but I just chose not to use it this time. So for any images that I do fuzzy cut, I will take a Memento tuxedo marker just to line the edges so there's no white showing. For the image itself, I use my T-ruler and a pencil just so I can mark off where I want the sentiment. I want him to stand on top of the sentiment so he's grounded and it doesn't look like he's just floating in the air. And this also helps me mark exactly where I want him to stand because I'm going to be coloring rainbow colors out of his paintbrush. So to do so, I'm using Tombow markers. And because these are water based, I am just drawing lines because I'm going to blend them out using a water brush. So once I have the lines drawn, I just take that water brush and I blend out this color. And I take my time doing so because I want to blend it in so there's no harsh line between colors while keeping the colors in their area. I don't want all the colors to blend in together to become one color. I want it to be obvious that there's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and pink at the end. And so I'll go over this a few times, and anywhere that I feel the color is a little dull, I'll add in a little bit more marker because this does dry pretty quickly and the colors do blend out nicely with that water brush. And I do go over this quite a few times only because I left some harsh water lines and I wanted to go in and blend that out. Because this dries so quickly, it does leave harsh water lines. And so I think my last time that I go in to blend, I'll blend the entire area from the red to the pink just so everything gets wet and there's no harsh water lines left behind. Once I finish blending everything out, I finish coloring the little tip of the paintbrush with rainbow colors. So for the sentiment that I'm grounding this little artist on, I am heat embossing on black cardstock using LDRS Creative Watermark ink and Hero Art white embossing powder. And I'll just trim this down so it's a black strip and this will be perfect for him to stand on. And once I do that, this card is more or less done. I will add score tape on the back of that. And here I'm using my craft pick just to remove any excess embossing powder that may be left on the sentiment. I don't always heat emboss cleanly and it's fine. So here I'm going in to get rid of some of the harsh lines, and I actually just created more by doing so, and that's okay. For the image itself, I'm adhering it using Ranger Multimedia Matte Glue, and I'm gonna put it so the paintbrush is right at that tip of where all that color starts. And using my T ruler, I just make sure that he's standing straight. So when I put the sentiment below him, it just doesn't look crooked or anything. So the T ruler is a very inexpensive tool to use, and I use it all the time. It helps me with the sentiment. So here you can see that I start blending out the entire area again. I do this just because I want to get rid of all the harsh lines that have formed because of the water lines. But I'm happy how it turned out, and I think it looks really, really pretty, and the rainbow effect I wanted turned out well. To finish off this card, I decided that I wanted to mat this card panel on black cardstock, so I trim out a piece of A2 cardstock black, and now adhere it to a top folding card. I want this to be framed, so I'm trimming off my main card panel by 1/4 of an inch on the bottom and on the side, and this will leave a nice black frame around this image. So I'll adhere it using my ATG gun, and that is my card. I think that this is a very simple card to put together, but it's fun, bright, and colorful. So I hope you enjoyed today's card and that you'll check out the new stamp sets that Penguin Palace has in store for you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.